Alright, hey guys, it's Kip again. This time we're playing FEZ for the PlayStation 4. This is a puzzle platformer. It's obviously, as you can see already, about changing perspective. You're on a 2D plane and you can hit right and left on your triggers, and that will change the surroundings of what you have. And the ultimate goal, as you'll find, is to get these yellow cubes. Again, like in my last video, in the Battlefield 4 video, I'm not really sure what those cubes are all about. I haven't quite finished the game yet, so it might be a good answer at the end there. In FEZ, you play as the character Gomez, who I assume, looking at his stature, is the nephew of the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. He is granted his titular cap there that grants him the power to change perspectives and sets off on his grand adventure to get these little yellow 8-bit cubes for the what I assume is the saving of the universe. There are these little shards, as you see. You'll pick those up as you go. 8, I think, of those makes one whole cube. There are 32 cubes that you have to get, and you're not always just picking up shards. There's also actual cubes that you pick up, usually at the top of levels. Anyway, what a platformer really needs to do well, I think, and as you see me fall and die, is it has to be interesting in its design, and FEZ certainly delivers on that promise. These three-dimensional worlds are kind of crazy. As you'll see there, I just collected a cube and FEZ goes nuts, but this level I'm showing isn't exactly the most creative of all the levels. It certainly is one in which you have to use that perspective altering tool pretty liberally to get to the top of the level. The other thing a platformer really needs to do well, I think, is have very responsive controls, and in that sense, FEZ kind of falls flat. The movement of Gomez is, passable, but in this portion right here, you have to make several jumps rather quickly because those blocks are just twisted around. And I think, in some ways, and this is after several hours of playing, I'm kind of used to Gomez's controls and his movement and all that. I think, in your Marios of your world, your Donkey Kong countries, those kinds of things, have really intuitive character movement, and FEZ kind of falls flat on that for me. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean the game suffers because of it, but as you can see, there's a lot of jumping that takes place. Basically, your only button is to jump, and the fact that Gomez kind of shifts his weight funny mid-air and when he lands makes that kind of tough. And it's really the only argument I have against the game. The ambient soundtrack is just wonderful. The visuals are 8-bit fantastic, as you can see. There's a lot going on, some vibrant colors, and Gomez is just cute as hell. I don't know that we can go around or get around that fact in talking about this. He's a nice protagonist, and kind of a memorable one. You'll have some kind of crazy color rainbow thing comes down and gives you hints throughout the game, and that's another thing I'll say. I often advocate playing while enjoying some alcoholic beverages, especially some shooters. That seems to make me better, but you'll get vertigo pretty fast if you pound them and play some FEZ, and it's certainly not one if it's a puzzle game to be played when you're in the throes of a bender. Anyway, so what I just got there was a treasure map, and I'm not really sure what those are supposed to do. To be perfectly frank with you, there's a bunch of different collectibles, some artifacts, and some other things that you can collect in addition to the cube shards. And treasure maps are just one of those, and you get a trophy for finding everything, which will take you, I'm about halfway through the game right now, and I've played about 4 hours, so I think probably you get everything. You're looking between 8 and 10 hours of gameplay. This was a PlayStation Plus free title. That's why I picked it up. But I would, say if you're a fan of a platformer puzzle games, this is certainly worth the $13 that they're asking for. And we're heading towards the end of this level and the end of this commentary, and this at the very top is in what is a very simplistic sort of ladder puzzle here. Is one of those major cubes I talked about. Get 32 of these and you finish the game. So that's FEZ. If you like it, make sure to stick around the Tech Deck for more.